My girlfriend walked out on me for my best friend. The way it happened was almost insulting in its simplicity, just a quick 3-minute phone call during my lunch break. Her name was Chloe. We had been together for 5 years, building what I thought was a solid future. My best friend, well, my former best friend, was Liam. He and I had been close since childhood. He was supposed to be like a brother to me. On that call, Chloe told me she had fallen out of love. A week later, their relationship went public. They posted a photo of themselves kissing, smugly captioned, "Sometimes what you're looking for is right in front of you." The weeks that followed felt like I was sleepwalking through a storm of anger and disbelief. I boxed up Chloe's belongings from our apartment and dropped them on her parents' porch without a word. Then I cut them both off completely, blocked numbers, blocked socials, blocked memories if only that were possible. Our mutual friends hovered in the middle, muttering empty condolences while trying to stay neutral. Their neutrality felt like betrayal. One night, Liam sent me this long, messy text. He rambled about how he couldn't help his feelings, how this wasn't planned, and how he hoped one day we could go back to being friends. I never answered. Silence was the only dignity I had left. About a month later, another blow landed. Chloe and I had shared a high-yield savings account, our so-called future fund for a house. I had contributed the majority, around 70%, about $35,000. When I tried to move my portion to a personal account, my heart nearly stopped. The balance showed $12.38. Scrolling through the transaction history, I saw it clear as day. 2 days after the breakup call, Chloe had drained the entire balance of $50,240 into her own account. The betrayal wasn't just emotional anymore, it was financial theft. My future wasn't only ripped apart, it had been looted. I took screenshots, the date, the transfer, the amount. Hard evidence. I didn't scream at Chloe or send Liam angry messages. Instead, I called a lawyer. My attorney, Miss Gable, was stunned at the audacity. Within hours, she had drafted a demand letter. It spelled everything out. Chloe had wrongfully taken the full sum from a joint account that was intended for a mutual purpose that no longer existed. We demanded the immediate return of my portion, $35,168, within 10 business days or face a lawsuit for conversion and unjust enrichment. They ignored it. 10 business days passed. Nothing. So I told my lawyer to file the lawsuit. The day they were served, my phone exploded with calls and texts. I finally picked up when Liam rang. He was furious, yelling, "Are you actually suing us? After everything, you're trying to bleed us for money?" I let him rant until he ran out of steam. Then I said calmly, "Liam, you and Chloe stole 35 grand from me. This isn't a shakedown. This is me reclaiming what's mine. You should have responded to the letter." He snapped back. "It was a joint account. She had every right." I told him flatly, "The court can decide that. Talk to your lawyer, not me." Then I hung up. Not long after, they went on a full smear campaign. Mutual friends were told I was just a bitter ex trying to sabotage their happiness. When some friends called me confused, I didn't argue. I simply forwarded the screenshot of the bank transfer. Facts don't need spin. Slowly, their supporters melted away. When it became clear the lawsuit was unwinnable, they caved. My lawyer received a cashier's check for the full amount. I got my money back, but the wound ran deeper than before. Losing Chloe and Liam as people hurt, but realizing how little my loyalty had meant to them was something else entirely. Months passed. I started to heal. I threw myself into the gym, picked up old hobbies, reconnected with the friends who'd stood by me. Life began to feel normal again. Then one Saturday, there was a knock at my door. When I opened it, Chloe and Liam were there, holding a bottle of wine, smiling like awkward teenagers. It was the first time I had seen them since everything imploded. My first instinct was to slam the door, but instead I just stood there in silence. "Can we talk?" Chloe asked softly. Against my better judgment, I let them in. They fumbled through a rehearsed apology, sorry for how things happened, sorry I was hurt. But their love was real and undeniable. It was apology without ownership, regret without responsibility. Then Chloe lifted her hand to show off a sparkling ring. "We're getting married," she announced, practically glowing. Liam wrapped his arm around her and looked me in the eyes. Man, it would mean the world if you stood with me as a groomsman. To show everyone we're still family. The arrogance was staggering. They had gutted me emotionally, robbed me financially, smeared me socially. And now they wanted me to stand beside them, smiling for photographs, as though I were some symbol of their forgiveness. They didn't want reconciliation. They wanted validation. I smiled. Wow. Congratulations. I'd be honored. Relief washed over their faces. They actually believed it. As they left my apartment, laughing and excited, I knew exactly what role I would play at their wedding. And it wasn't the one they imagined. From that day forward, I became the picture of graciousness. I toasted them at their engagement party. I joined the groomsmen's group chat. I even flew out for the bachelor weekend in Vegas, laughing and playing along like the loyal friend I once was. But deep down I was waiting for the perfect moment to remind them that forgiveness was never on the table. That I kept smiling, even laughing at Liam's terrible jokes, but behind the mask, every second of me was planning. My revenge couldn't be childish or impulsive, it had to be perfect. Ruthless. Built entirely on their own words and their own choices. That's when I remembered the shared cloud service Chloe and I had used for years to back up photos and files. She had never bothered to unlink her devices. Every message, even the ones she thought she had deleted, was still there, quietly syncing in the background. All I had to do was look. One long weekend, some data recovery software, and hours of digging later, I uncovered everything. What I found was more than betrayal. It was cruelty. A year's worth of messages between Chloe and Liam. At first, they were playful, just light flirting, but the conversations escalated quickly. Meetings behind my back, stolen nights in my own apartment when I was at work. And worse than that, the insults. They mocked me, my routines, even my family. Their words dripped with disdain, laughing at me as if I was some clueless fool. Then I found the exchange from the week of our breakup. Liam telling her, "Just do it already. The sooner you break it off, the sooner we can finally be together." Chloe's response chilled me. "I will. Then we can finally get that money and start our life." That was when I realized it wasn't just about love. It had been a scheme. The money I had set aside, the down payment I had trusted her with, wasn't an accident. It had been their plan from the start. I took screenshots of every message. I organized them into a meticulous timeline. Date by date. Word by word. A flawless record of their deceit. The evidence was undeniable. So when they asked me to handle the wedding slideshow, because of course Liam and Chloe were hopeless with technology, I smiled and agreed. Liam even clapped me on the shoulder, telling me, "You know us best. Make it special." I promised him I would. And I did. I created 2 versions. The one they expected, a syrupy 10-minute montage of baby photos and couple selfies set to their favorite music. But the second version, that was the real one. My masterpiece. It began innocently, just like they wanted. Baby pictures, awkward teenage shots, sweet couple photos. The music was soft and romantic, everything their families hoped for. Then at the 2-minute mark, everything changed. The music cut out. The screen flickered to black. A single line of white text appeared, "The real journey." The first message filled the screen. A text from Liam to Chloe, dated 8 months before she ended things with me. "He's an idiot. He'll never suspect a thing." The room gasped in unison. Then came Chloe's reply. "I feel bad sometimes, but then you touch me and I forget all about him." Slide after slide, I let their own words tell the story. The affair, the lies, the mockery. Their messages displayed on a massive projection screen in front of 150 wedding guests. People stared in stunned silence. No laughter. No clinking glasses. Just the cold weight of betrayal filling the room. And then came the knockout blow. The message about the money. Chloe's words about taking what I had saved. Finally, I ended it with the proof. A screenshot of the $50,240 bank transfer, dated just 2 days after she left me. The last slide was their engagement photo. Smiling, holding hands. But this time I added my own caption. "Congratulations to the happy couple." The music swelled back in. Their chosen love song blasting through the speakers. saccharine and mocking all at once. The lights came on. Chaos followed. Chloe shrieked, her voice breaking and shrill. Liam sat frozen, pale as ash, unable to move. Her father shot to his feet, face flushed with rage as he turned between his daughter and the screen. Guests whispered, pointed, lifted their phones to capture it all. The perfect audience for the show. I didn't stay for the aftermath. Calmly, I disconnected my laptop, placed it into its bag and walked away. Liam tried to lunge at me as I passed, but the other groomsmen held him back. I didn't even grant him a glance. I just walked through the country club's manicured gardens into the cool night air. My phone buzzed in my pocket, calls, texts, I didn't care. I got into my car, shut it off and drove away. I wasn't their groomsman that night. I was the narrator. And I told their story exactly the way it deserved to be told, in their own words.